Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Metal video. In this video we continue taking a look at units that require an easy A, and Flaming Avenger Nova Shenron is just like a lot of the other units that we've looked at, in that he is a unit that needs a bit of an easy A. He released in 2021, has not received anything since then, and there's been quite a bit of GT movement happening recently. He's one of the units that I think in design is flawed, and so the hope is that they can fix him a little bit when that changes. The difficulty with Nova Shenron is that there's kind of two moments of him. He's very similar to Piccolo, Paikuhan in that regard, where he is a villain, but a respectful villain, at least, you know, Piccolo was in Saiyan Saga to a certain degree, and the end of Dragon Ball Saga. But then he changes to an ally by seemingly taking a stand against Mega Shenron or Sin Shenron at the time. This represents a difficulty because the unit that they've created is a super physical Nova Shenron. One that is from the moment where he became a good guy, in theory. Much like having a super Piccolo, but making that Piccolo have extreme requirements. So it's a bit difficult in that regard, and it's the same with Nova Shenron. You know, the link set that he has, not really something that you want to see on a superclass unit. GT, Shadow Dragons, Revival, Fierce Battle, Shocking Speed, Cold Judgment are all only really shared by other Nova Shenrons. Those units are all extreme. And the thing with this Nova Shenron is he boosts Shadow Dragon Saga category defense. We'll talk about all those details now, but I think inherently whatever they do with the ETA, much like how they plan on doing with Super 17, I think they need to redesign his kit to take best advantage of the team he should be on, which is Shadow Dragons. And if you want to make him a Shadow Dragon Saga unit, just make it so that he benefits Shadow Dragon Saga, and then you can run him on either or. So basically how he works, he's a Shadow Dragon Saga category lead of Key +4. HP attacking defense of 120%, Flaming Avenger, Nova Shenron. He raises attack for 3 turns, causes supreme damage, and then seals the super attack of the opposition. He has attacking defense of 140%, Shadow Dragon Saga category superclass defense of 40% up. When there's a Shadow Dragon Saga category enemy, Key +2, attacking defense of 40%. When attacking an extreme class enemy, attacking defense of 40%, high chance of performing a critical hit. This is where things become interesting for him, because obviously he wants to face extreme class enemies, he boosts super class defense, and he's better against Shadow Dragon Saga category enemies, but he's not an outwardly good link set unit for anyone that isn't a Sin Shenron, a Mega Shenron, or a Nova and Ice Shenron, and that's ultimately how it is. He does also weirdly link up pretty good with Paikuhan, but then shares no categories with him. He shares, I think, Worthy Rivals as the one category. So if you want to run the two of them together, that's great, but there's no synergy between them outside of a decent link set. But you know who he does link well with? Sin Shenron, Mega Shenron, Nova and Ice Shenron. He links up decently with LR Mega Shenron. He links up okay with the SS4 units, but remember he's not giving them Saiyan Raw. So ultimately at the end of the day, he's just one of those units that I think in design is flawed, and so with his EZA primarily needs to have that be fixed. Like, he needs to have that be his primary function so that he can actually work. I think if you can do that, then I think you can find that he will be a decent unit, and I think he will find some usability. The first change is to make him just a Shadow Dragon Saga support. That gives him a lot more playability, way more playability overall, and allows him to function a lot better as a unit. I think if you do that, you'll find that he will then become way more usable. Second thing is to give him some utility, whether that's evasion, damage reduction, guard, but he needs some kind of defensive functionality. The attacking extreme class and the attacking Shadow Dragons can definitely stay. There's nothing wrong with having conditional requirements, especially when it comes to more attack or more defense. So that type of stuff is fine. You just have to boost the benefit that he gets from it. to make him a premium choice unit against those type of things. It's like he must be really good against Shadow Dragon's enemies or extreme enemies, like make him that kind of unit, and that's fine. Gives him a lot more playability, flexibility, and just makes him function a bit better overall. That's really kind of where he is as a unit. I think at this point, he's not a unit I would say you want to use, but he obviously could get an easy A at some point. I hope it's fairly soon, because Nova Shenron is an important Shadow Dragon, and I think it would be good to have an easy A for him, especially now our GT bosses and GT are both in a good space. Would be nice to have kind of a synergistic unit that boosts both. You know, he could sit well on the GT Heroes team, well, the Shadow Dragon Saga team. He could sit well on the Mega Shenron team. So it could be a lot more interesting to kind of have him function like that. But yeah, bye.